Good day. It looks like we are live on this YouTube class for comeback yoga. We're going to get started in about 8 minutes or so. So, if you're just joining, whether you're watching the replay or whether you're joining live, you want to grab a yoga mat or an exercise mat. And if you have yoga blocks, you want to grab those as well. But just sit tight and we'll get started here in about 5 minutes. I'd like to share a reading with you today on it's called Tasty Morsels of Wisdom from Great Minds East and West. And this is on being yourself. Many Western psychological theories confuse our ego with the self. As a result, we view the self as an object in need of adaptation or correction. On the other hand, most Eastern philosophies, including Zen, distinguish the ego from the authentic self. The self is to be realized and not perfected. It cannot be improved upon or in any way altered, for it remains ever transcendent to time and space and all the changes that transpire within. From the perspective of Zen, the ego is not to be corrected, but to be released. The ego is the fictional social self we must lose in order to realize the authentic self. Losing our ego doesn't mean despising or annihilating it, but rather serving or severing our identification with it. In the language of Zen, releasing identification with the ego brings spontaneous realization of our original true self. Yet being your true self is more than clinging to the emptiness. It is also participating in becoming in the world of time and space. While we are all one in spirit, each of us is unique in nature. Being yourself means recognizing and celebrating your particular nature, your unique gifts and abilities. There's no point in trying to be someone else or in letting concern with what other people think dictate your life. We must each find our own path and discover for ourselves the joy of being who we are. And Joseph Campbell will say, if you follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track, which has been there all the while waiting for you, and the life that you ought to be living is the one that you are living. So thank you, Joseph Campbell. Um, he's no longer with us, but those are true words of wisdom. So we'll be starting here in just a couple of moments. And I welcome each and every one of you as you are. And if you have anything you'd like to share in the chat, any questions or any concerns that you might have, please type them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them for you here today. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got top of the hour right now. So if you're just joining live, I welcome each and every one of you to this Comeback Yoga All Levels class. You will need a yoga mat or an exercise mat for today in this All Levels class. And if you're not familiar with Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization. We're based out of Denver, Colorado, and we serve veterans, active duty military, and your support team. We offer yoga classes, breathing exercises, stress management practices here on the channel, as well as in person. So, if you get to any of our in person locations, we'd love to see you. You can check out the in person locations. You can find out where those are by going to our website, and that should just be below. Here on this YouTube platform, you can watch us 24 hours a day, wherever you are in the world. And what's nice is that you can repeat classes as well if you found one to be super beneficial. So we're offering classes for stretching, strengthening, for stress management, and just all around self care. This all levels class will be for all levels, as indicated, and offering some variations of some poses, some common yoga poses, as well as some um, maybe not as challenging. So, therefore, if you want it to be more challenging, you can certainly make it more challenging for yourself. Or if you're needing less of a challenge, then certainly take care of yourself. So, either way, um, we're here in this class together, and I'm here to support you. So please don't hesitate to share, to type in the chat anything that you might be needing today. We're going to go ahead and get started on our back. But before we do so, I want you to get familiar with my surroundings. I've got this shorter plant over here and this tall plant on the stand. I'll be referring to the floor plant and the plant on the stand over here. And then I've got this screen behind me, and that would be opposite of you. So if I say to the back of the room, that would be away from the screen, or to the front of the room towards the screen. And also, there might be some times that I might ask you to close your eyes. That doesn't mean you have to. So you want to see that and feel that you're in a secure location, that you could do so. All right. I think that's all we've got. Do what you can and work with what you've got today. Let's go ahead and get started on our back. If you need something under your back or under your head, go ahead and grab that. And we'll start with the knees into the chest. You can hold on either to the back of your legs or the fronts of your shins. And either way, whatever is the most comfortable for you, we'll just take some breaths here. So we want to access the lower lobes of the lungs by drawing the breath in and down, even slightly pressing the abdomen against the legs, and then feeling a slight release. So this is a good pose for not only digestion, but also good for helping to activate diaphragmatic breathing. Let's take two more breaths here. Inhale. Maybe the legs slightly move away or not, just whatever feels natural. And then exhale, maybe a slight compression. Two more. And last one. Good. And then placing both feet on the ground. And you can rest your hands on your stomach. Maybe walk your feet out a little wider. Let those knees fall together. And now taking the arms out into a T position with the palms facing up. Just start to move the legs side to side. Feeling some movement come all the way up to the shoulders, the back of the head. You can even add a little rotation of your head to one side away from the legs and then to the other side. And then coming back to center, take both of those legs back into the chest. And then we'll straighten both legs and arms up to the ceiling, circling the wrists and the ankles. And then bring one knee in towards the chest as the other leg comes down towards the floor. And we're going to switch right away. So coming back up, and other leg comes in and switch. Up, switch. And linking the breath and the movement. So every time there's a movement, there's a breath. There's no right or wrong in which movement is linked with which breath. We'll do one more on each side. And then take both legs up into the air, fingers reaching up towards the toes. And then draw your knees into your chest, just without your hands as your arms come to the sides alongside the mat. Inhale, sending the arms and legs up. And then exhale, the arms down, knees into chest. Can even move a little bit through the hips, a little bit of rocking, if you like, lifting the hips as you come in, almost like you're doing a reverse crunch. You can use your arms to help you kind of lift those hips up if you like, bringing the knees closer into the chest. This will build a little bit more warmth in the body if you want to do that, using your exhalation, the strength of your arms and your core to lift the hips. We'll do 3 more. Either lifting hips or not. And 1 more. Good. And then placing those feet down to the floor. Rocking the legs side to side again, side to side, head turning in the opposite direction. All right. So bringing those feet about hip distance and arms to your sides. We're going to lift up to a dynamic bridge pose. So your hips are going to come off of the floor and then the arms will follow. And then the arms start to come down and the hips follow. So just kind of peeling your hips up off of the floor to the very tops of the shoulders. And then one vertebra at a time coming down. Pushing those feet down into the floor as the hips come up. And you might notice that there's a little bit of rocking even in your head, where the chin might come slightly towards the chest and then down. One more time. Great. All right, roll to your side so you're facing the screen. And you're going to bring those knees out in front of you. And we'll kind of come up onto the elbow so that you're nice and long. You can prop your head up on your hand here for a moment and stack the knees and the shins. They're getting really long. You're going to bring your top hand towards the bottom side of your mat, and you're going to just lift up a little bit as you push down into that bottom arm. So lifting up and down. If you want a little bit more, you're going to come off of the mat and reach with both arms. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then resting your head on your bottom arm, we'll take the top hand and circle the elbow. Shoulder circling. And then taking that arm all the way behind you, maybe stretching it out and supporting your head with your hand. And then coming on to your stomach, straightening out the legs and placing the hands underneath the head. Stretching out through the legs and think about the whole backside of your body lifting up towards the ceiling. So here we go, lifting everything up except for those hips and lower down. 4 more. Think about inhaling as you lift up and releasing and exhaling as you come down. Find the whole back line of the body engaged and then released. 2 more. Last one. Good. Now bring those hands behind the shoulders and press up to child's pose, moving the hips back towards the heels, knees going out wide. All right. And coming up, we'll take our sequence on to the other side. So you can turn to face the front, knees, legs stacked, arms underneath, getting really, really long on the underside, and either hand to the head to lift up like so. Arm reaching out is another option, or both arms. And pulse, 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 pulse. 3, 2, and 1. All right, lowering down, resting your head on that arm, top hand on the shoulder. Circle your arm. Other way. And then open up into a twist. Maybe you're letting that top shoulder come all the way down. If there's pain in your back, you can let your knee lift and roll more to your back. It's almost more of a recline. And then coming on over, coming onto your stomach again. This time I'll have you bring your hands out a little bit wider than the shoulders, fingertips maybe even off of the mat, elbows in line with the shoulders. We'll start with the forehead down, legs long, and then slowly push down into the floor with those fingertips and lift your chest. And then slowly come on down. Maybe your hands come back or higher up. Inhale, push down, feeling the back of the body engage, and then lower. 3 more times. Lengthen up as you come up. You don't have to come up very high. Just go to the range of comfort, but also a little challenge. 2 more. And last one. And then pressing up to a tabletop and option plank. Knees lift. And then bringing those knees back down for child's pose. Hips coming towards the heels, forehead can rest on the mat or the back of your hands. All right. And coming up, toes under, lift the hips up for a downward dog and stretch down through the hands, lifting hips up. You're sort of pushing your hands down into the ground to lift those hips up higher. So you're kind of even getting some traction, kind of firming the arms, plugging the arms into the sockets and lifting the ribs slightly away from the ground. And look forward. Walk your feet right up to those hands into a forward fold. And then bend your knees. We'll bring those hands up onto the lap, elbows back, and then round your spine, bringing the hands to the knees. Draw those hands back, lifting your chest, bending the knees, and rounding. 2 more times. And last one. And now come all the way up to standing and releasing those shoulders. All right, facing the front. So maybe if your mat is turned the same way as mine, facing the long edge of your mat. Taking your feet out wide. And this first time might be a little narrower. Maybe some of you can go out as wide as your hands. So that's another option. It might feel a little strenuous or strain, maybe difficult. So just meet yourself where you're at, especially this first round, maybe going a little bit narrower. All right. And then turn this leg out towards the floor plant, hands in front of the chest. Look over that toe, the arm, and then open out those arms. Now, flip both palms up towards the ceiling and then reach up. So just a little bit of a side bend here, reaching down. Good. And then opening up your arms and turn the heels in, 5-pointed star. If you feel your arms getting tired, that's just meaning that you're getting stronger. All right. And now turn the other way, turning that leg towards the plant. Reach up and then take a little side bend down. And then coming back up, and we'll another 5-pointed star here. I'm breathing 2 more times. And then release. Well done. Couple shoulder rolls. Okay. Now turn your feet forward. Take your arms out into a T position with the palms forward. Gonna soften the knees a little bit. And as you tip forward, like you're gonna come towards the ground, pause about halfway down, and then slowly start to rotate with those arms. And then come back to center. Use your exhale and rotate. So moving from your core and back to center. Good. Now bring your hands to your lap, turn your heels in and toes out, and let's come down. Keeping your hands on your legs for support. Take this shoulder, drop it down towards the opposite foot. Come back, Other shoulder, dropping it down, pushing those legs out wide, and come back to center. And then back to our 5-pointed star, and then release. Okay. So turning this foot, toes towards the long edge, this foot out towards the short edge. Hands coming back to the heart, in front of the chest, shoulder height. Open out. Turn those palms up. Side bending, reaching up and down. Noticing your breath here. And now put a little bend in this front leg as you reach. You're pushing down, anchoring down into this back foot as you reach along, and then open into triangle. You can have your hand onto your shin, knee, thigh, or even down lower. So those are some options to be here, 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 or here. And now let's take the top arm up, come into 5-pointed star, turning those toes out, and then take your arms out, turn your toes forward, bend the knees a little bit, your hips are moving back. Use your exhale to turn. You don't have to go far. It's more of an open turn and you're floating off the floor. Exhale and turn the other way. And come back through center. Hands to the thighs, turning those heels in. Come down deeper. Turning, dropping that shoulder, getting nice and long. Come back. Keep really long through your torso and dip that other shoulder. Your hips can go down a little bit more. Come back through center and then rise all the way up. Good. Let's go out the other way. Opening up the arms and those palms turn up. So finding that side bend, you're reaching up. This hand can come down, maybe keep nice and long. And then putting just a little bit of a bend in that left leg or this leg here. Okay, we're going to reach. Keep pushing into your feet. Get really, really long from the top of the hip to the middle finger. Reach, 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 reach. And then you stop when it feels like you're getting enough sensation. And then your hand lands wherever. And then maybe you come down lower or lower or lower. And your top arm comes straight up overhead. Or if you're here, it just comes here. So lots of variations. Push into the feet and rise. All right, turning the feet forward. We're going to come into a forward fold here. Hands can be on your sides or on your waist. And bending forward and coming on down. All right. We're going to bring the feet maybe closer together and bend the knees and come all the way up to standing. Okay, let's do one more sequence here while we're standing. So I'm going to bring those knees about hip distance apart. Knees and feet hip distance apart. So if there's separation of the knees, there is in the feet as well. So the toes are pointing forward, hands onto your lap, and drop those hips back and down. So from here, I want you to take one hand in front of the abdomen, the other hand in back. So make sure that you can see those toes. I'll show from the side. So bottoms back, not too much weight in the heels, just right. So you're feeling balanced. And then between the front and the back, you're also feeling neutral. So using some stability for your core and your back. So another option is you could come down further. So those are some variations in this position. All right. So now you're going to take your hands out to the side and then switch hands, other hand in front. And then out to the side and switch. Switch. One more time. All right, now let's open the arms up. We're going to twist. So rotating through the torso can bring this bottom hand to the outside of that knee. Keep that knee and hand pressing together, reaching out nice and long. And then come back through center, open up those arms, and then turn, 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 just like our earlier twisting. Bringing the hand to the outside of the knee. Reaching, pushing your hand and knee together. Reaching up with that top arm. Great. All right, come all the way up. That was quite a bit, huh? Shoulders back and either hands onto your back or clasp the hands and lift your chest. Let's get a little stretch there for the shoulders. All right, release and come to the short edge of your mat. We're working our way now down to the floor. So find your tall mountain. So you're finding you're kind of scanning your own body from the inside out, noticing the surface beneath you, feeling yourself tall, rising up. Feel the full length of your body from the bottoms of the feet, the very top of your head, the slight muscular activation along the whole body, even the fingers slightly active, shoulders. All right, turn your palms out, reach those arms up overhead, and then bend the knees. Bring those arms back out into a T position and come forward halfway. So you're feeling the abdominals engage, and then releasing the hands to the floor, releasing your head down as well. Step one leg back, maybe the leg closest to me. It doesn't matter. We're going to do both legs. Look forward. You're coming into your lunge. Reach it nice and long. And then push off. That back foot comes forward, releasing the head. Other leg goes back. Get nice and long. Pushing into that front foot. And then let's step back, downward dog. Fingers going out wide. Push into those hands firmly so you get long, strong arms. Lifting those hips up nice and high. And then coming forward to a high plank or a low plank or more of a tabletop where your hands are under your shoulders and your hips are over the knees. Other option is the hips come down below the shoulders. So let's take 3 breaths here. 2 and 1. Elbows go back and slowly take your chest down. Pointing the feet, coming into a cobra or straighten out the arms for an upward dog, lifting the hips and the knees off the ground. Coming back down, and then we'll take a moment to rest. Turn your head to one side, arms coming alongside of your hips. And turn your head to the other side. All right. Now roll onto one side so you're facing the screen maybe. And bring both knees out in front of you. You're going to bring the top leg in front close to your chest. Hold on to your ankle or your knee or your shin, and then, or your foot even. And then bring that leg back behind you for a stretch for the front of the hip. And reach out through that bottom arm. Press your top knee back to the wall behind you. And then bring the leg forward. Now, take that top leg, bring it straight forward. Place your one hand or both hands even onto your ankle or your foot as you bring your leg closer towards your forehead. All right, and then release. Let's come to the other side. I'm going to roll on up. And so I'm still facing you, coming on to your side. Knees out in front. I'm grabbing ankle, foot, or shin, and then sending the leg back behind, pushing the foot into the hand or the leg into hand. Getting 2 for 1 here. You get a little shoulder sensation and a leg. And keep a little bit of engagement along the back side that will increase the sensation along the front side. And then bring your leg forward, holding it to your foot, ankle, or calf, bringing your forehead towards the shin. All right, great. And release. Coming onto your back now. And we'll come into a figure 4. So taking one ankle on top of the opposite knee. You can either keep your foot to the floor or draw those legs in towards your chest. You can maybe even hold on to the back of your leg or the front of your shin, threading those hands through. All right, and then bringing the knees together, going to drop into a twist. So taking that top leg across to the outside. You can hold on to your leg and look over your shoulder here for rotational quality and the twist. Squeeze those legs together and come back through center. Taking that top leg now up to the ceiling, holding on to your calf, your ankle, or your foot. Taking that same leg out towards the screen or whichever, towards the computer, and the other knee just kind of going out wide. You can adjust whatever feels best or what is accessible. You could also straighten your bottom leg if you like. And then take both knees into the chest and then switch sides. So your other ankle on top, foot on floor, or thread your hand through and grab the back of your leg or your shin. And then sliding those knees together, twisting to the side. And coming back through center, taking that top leg now out to the side, maybe straightening your bottom leg. And coming back through center, both legs in, lift your head and shoulders up. Maybe you're grabbing the back of your legs or your feet. And then straightening your legs towards the ceiling. We'll bring the hands to the small of the back, palms down, or grab the sides of your mat. Lengthen your torso, your spine as you pull the mat towards or away from the shoulders. And then start to lower your legs down towards the floor. And once you land, go ahead now and get settled in. We've arrived at our final portion of class where I'll lead you through about a 5-minute meditation here. We're not here for too long. So getting comfortable, still, and maybe you'd like to be sitting up or standing even. You could also be lying on your side or on your front. So, whatever feels the most comfortable for you, where you might be able to close your eyes and feel the quieting of your body as I lead you through this meditation body scan. So, if there's a way for you to get a little bit more comfortable, do so. And then bring attention to your eyes, the eyelids. Notice if they're fluttering. There's no right or wrong. Just notice if they are fluttering. And then bringing attention to the inside of your mouth, the hinges of the jaw, and your tongue. And then bringing attention to your shoulders, your elbows, and the palms of your hands. And then bringing attention to your hips, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. And now bringing attention to your body breathing. We'll take 5 deep breaths together. So letting your next exhalation go. And then inhale slowly and smoothly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more round. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now just letting that count go and stay present. The whole body breathing, body coming to a state of ease, and noticing all that is arising, the thoughts, the fluctuating thoughts, sensations, and even awareness to your surroundings. So noticing the wavering attention to the surroundings, to my voice, the wavering attention to conscious thought, to then unconscious thought, that wavering attention. And yet there's a sense of awareness and presence that remains constant, of being aware of all of these changes. And now welcome in your awareness to the sounds in the room again, the sound of my voice, and maybe even some thoughts about what you'll take with you in today's, as you move out into the world today, taking with you maybe some of today's practice, a felt sense of ease, maybe in your conversations, your relationships, the work that you do, and even the way that you think. So, as you're ready now, begin some movement through your fingers and toes, maybe even turning your head side to side slowly, even towards your chest, side to side, or behind and left to right. And then when you're ready, begin to emerge, whether you're seated or standing or lying down. Join me back into a seated pose. And Just want to thank you all for being here today. It's just been an honor to be able to serve you in your practice. As we close our session, I just again want to thank you and hope that you gained something from today's practice that you can take with you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We're available on the YouTube channel. You can click the link below and find us. Reach out to us via phone or email or on social media. I look forward to seeing you again next time. And so until then, be very well. Take good care.